Okay, we'll go ahead and get started here, and if you all are having any trouble getting the audio portion or the actual visual webinar portion of it, please just utilize that chat box down on the bottom right-hand side of your page, and you can choose to send the message to myself, Melissa Houston. I'm under AKSourceLink, the host, or you can send it to everyone, and we'll try and work on those technical difficulties. We're having a couple of snafus here trying to get a presentation to upload, so we're going to almost break this into a couple of different parts. So I'm going to go ahead and go the okay, it just shut me out of WebEx. Sorry about that. Give me 1 second here and let me get that going again. It completely closed me out of the program. I'll introduce myself. My name is Melissa Houston. I work on AKSourceLink. We are a program that's run out of the University of Alaska Center for Economic Development. And our goal and main objective is to help rural entrepreneurs in Alaska to get connected with the different governmental, university, and nonprofit resources that can help them to either start or grow a business. You guys can hear me here, I hope. To hang up the audio here real quick, and then I'll be right back on. So I'll be right back with you. Oh, there again. Sorry about all the technical issues we're having right now. I also realized that the screen is wrong. So regardless of what it says on this front slide here about SourceLink, our webinar in this series was Rural Arctic Co-ops with Renata Ballesteros. And this time we have social media for rural Alaska businesses with Dar, who will get a better introduction of herself in just a couple minutes here. But first I wanted to just take a second to introduce you to the AKSourceLink program and how you can use some of its resources for your business. And now this one is not working for me. Okay, here we go. So I mentioned that AKSourceLink is here to help connect business owners with the different resources that can help them to grow their businesses. That's through a network of 145 different resource partners. Each of those resource partners, like I mentioned earlier, are either university, nonprofits, or governmental organizations. You can use SourceLink any time or day by visiting the website AKSourceLink.com. It is a completely free tool to use. You can also use our hotline. The number is listed on the screen there. It's toll-free, so you can call from any part of the state, and you can reach us during regular business hours. Different resources that you can access through AKSourceLink. The first one I want to highlight for you is our blog. It's actually a shared blog, which means that we have national affiliates from the US SourceLink program to contribute to blog posts every couple of days so that we have fresh information listed up there. It's kind of neat that it's not all just Alaska-centric because we have different authors from all over the country who are providing input on all sorts of different business topics, including 5-step guides to starting a business, or 10 steps to finding financing, or talking about some latest trends that are going on, all sorts of different cool things that can really get you some more information. Our newsletter, which we distribute about once a month, and it is also free to register for it. In fact, all of these links here are hyperlinks, so they take you to, I guess they're not hyperlinking, but you can register for our newsletter on the website. So there we like to have a lot more Alaska-focused news, so we focus on some different events that are happening for entrepreneurs all around the state, as well as some different news trends and business topics that you should be aware of in Alaska. Mention those events that we have going on statewide. We have our statewide calendar of events where we focus different events from resource partners all around the state. So some of those are in-person events, some of them are conferences, some of them are trainings, some are webinars that are actually put out in person in one location, but then just like this webinar are made available to folks all around the state. the resource library, which is a section of a lot of general business information broken down into different topics so that you can browse through whatever topic you're wanting to learn more about and click and follow the links, and you can find PDFs, you can find tools through websites, templates to build business plans, all sorts of different resources there. In fact, this webinar recording is going to be added into the webinar archive in the resource library. So if you want to be able to access it after today's meeting or share it with a friend, you'll be able to do so there. So our navigator is how folks get connected with those different resource partners. If you have a question about a specific business topic, but you want to share resource providers are out there, let alone who will be able to help you with it, you can go to the resource navigator and put what your question is. You typically put a couple of examples of what you're looking for, like narrowing down the search from a drop-down menu, and then you provide a little bit of information about who you are as a business, because there are certain resources out there for minority-owned businesses or women-owned businesses, as regional organizations that can help you based on where you're located in the state. So put in your question and a little bit of information about yourself. It generates a list of resource providers who can help you address that. There you have a little excerpt of who they are and what they do, as well as contact information for each of their offices, so that you can save that into a PDF and you can keep it on your computer or print it out and have that so that you can give them a call, email them, visit their website, get in touch with them so that you can get your business questions answered. That's a little bit of a picture of some of the things that SourceLink does. If you haven't been on the Alaska SourceLink website, I would definitely encourage you after this webinar to get online and just kind of browse around and see what resources are there. You can also connect to us through social media. We do have a Facebook page where we keep it up to date with different news around Alaska with different local businesses, as well as business resource providers, as well as things that our program is doing, like this webinar series. And then we have a Twitter account as well where we update all the information too. And if you want information, you can get in touch with me. My name is Melissa. We also have Lisa Whedon, who's not online today with us. She is our network builder, and her contact information is listed there as well. So if anyone is having any technical difficulties on your end, feel free to send that to me in the chat box down at the bottom of the page. I'm going to try one more time here to get Star's file uploaded. Then we will let her get into her presentation about social media. And just a housekeeping reminder too, if you want to keep your lines muted just to keep any background noise minimalized during the presentation, that would be great. If you receive another call and you're using a landline today, please don't put us on hold. Just hang up and then dial back in. The call information is in that email that WebEx initially sent out to you. I don't think it is uploading this time. And I was again for some of the technical difficulties here. Hopefully we get it to work in our favor.
Thank you, Lisa, for all your technical expertise in all of this. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Can you loading page there, or is anything showing up? Tell you what's loading. I'm going to go ahead and give the presenter capabilities over to you, Dar. What you're going to do is go ahead and click over on the social media tab at the top of the screen. Tabs up there, or can you even see the social media tab?
Right now, social media tab. There's just
okay. So what I'll have you do is, since that document is not wanting to load for me, I'm going to have you upload it from your end. You can go up to the top of the screen to where it says Share, and then click File, and you're going to click, I think it's My Computer is what will come up.
Got it.
And then you'll select that file. For some reason you can't get it to load, then we'll just have you share your desktop. and you pull it up on your desktop. Hopefully it will work for us.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I found it, and it says continue, so I will hit this.
Okay.
Looks like it's loading. Let's see. Hopefully. And I will go ahead and hopefully this is going to load up properly. Okay, my name is Darlene Gawananoto and Johnson, and I'm with Eagle Vision Consulting. I buy DAR, it's a lot easier to say. And this is a webinar on social media for your rural business. And just a little bit of information about me, because a lot of times it's like what qualifies me to do anything like this. Basically, I've been an entrepreneur for over 25 years. I'm a First Nations person. I am Mohawk from the Ganawage Mohawk Reserve, but I also straddle Aguazosne, which is in upstate New York. My homelands are basically in the East Coast, upstate New York and eastern Canada. And I've been in the rural entrepreneur business basically since I was a child. So grandmother used to grow vegetables for our community and sell them. And I know a lot of people out in the rural of Alaska as well have family members and have grown up around, fishing and making your living off of fishing and gaining and guiding and tourism. And my family did a lot of beadwork. Went to Niagara Falls a lot of times and sold beads and a lot of beadwork in Niagara Falls. Anyway, so I've been pretty much an entrepreneur all my life, but probably for at least 25 years, and I've had Eagle Vision Consulting for about 20 years. And so anyway, this is a little bit about me. I have extensive work experience, and this is a photo of me. You can see what I look like. And there's also my social media contacts, which is on Facebook. You can find me at Eagle Vision Consulting and Training. On Twitter, it would be at To Soar High, and LinkedIn is under Diamond Dar. Okay, a little bit like I was saying, I have extensive work experience with the Small Business Administration, the Small Business Development Center, SCORE, Minority Business Development Agency, as well as the National Center for American Indian Enterprise Development. I was really fortunate that in my early career as an entrepreneur, I got a lot of assistance from the National Center for American Indian Enterprise Development, since I lived down the street from the main office in Mesa, Arizona. I've had over 10 years of small business development, specifically working with small businesses, helping them get up and going as an executive and business coach, as well as a mentor. I've also worked with lots of people with traumatic brain injury, start their own small business. That was something I've worked with the University of Alaska in Anchorage here. I have a lot of expertise in writing business plans and teaching people how to write their own business plans, as well as marketing and strategic planning, so in micro enterprise development, as well as doing training and education. I also do some work with the Department of Voc Rehab and Tribal Voc Rehab, again, in the area of business development and job skills. So I'm pretty quiet to talk about social enterprise, since a lot of what has happened in my life and where I've gotten has been through social enterprise. Onto an overview of what I'd like to cover today. I'm going to speed it up, fast forward, because it looks like we have about 40 minutes, a little less than 40 minutes to get through this. I have a lot of information. The good thing is that you'll be able to look at the PowerPoint later on AKSourceLink, so you're able to browse over it on your own time and at your own speed. Basically, what I'm going to cover is social media. What is it? The type of social media, what kind of social, why we should even consider social media, and how can social media work in rural business. Also, we're going to, if we have time, I'm going to give you a simple social media strategy, and I have a giveaway that we're going to do, and hopefully we'll have a little bit of time to do some questions and answers. So, what is social media? Basically, Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines social media as websites and applications that enable users to create and share content in a specific kind of a form. It's usually electronic communication where users can create online personas, communities, they share information, ideas, all different kinds of content, photographs, images, video. And Wikipedia describes social media as the interaction amongst people where they create again and exchange information in virtual communities and networks. Basically, it's a group of based applications that you can use to get information out there. And a lot of it depends on mobile and web-based technologies. And the mobile technology is really, really important in today's, especially out in the rural areas. It's a really good thing, actually. Okay, and there's tons and tons of social media out there. It can be overwhelming. There's so much out there. There's Flickr, there's Facebook, there's, stumble on, Vimeo, all kinds of, and there's new stuff like Instagram's been out for a while, but Snap, it's called Snap, I can't remember what it is. Take the picture, 10 seconds, and it's gone. And we have also, there's basically, those social media is kind of divided up into 6 areas or 6 types. Basically, those types of social media are social networking, which is pretty much Facebook and LinkedIn. That's the most popular ones, and they allow individuals to connect with other people with similar interests or backgrounds, topic areas, those kind of things. And then the next is bookmarking sites, which is pretty stumbled upon and delicious, and there's some others out there. Basically, they allow you to kind of save, organize, and manage your links, various websites and resources around the internet. You can pick up on those and put them somewhere and save them. Basically, you're bookmarking those. And so that's and also another one is Pinterest also falls into there too. Social news is another category, which is where people can post various news comments on news items and links, articles, and then people can vote on those. And the most popular ones, again, are Dig and Read It. The next 3 are news sharing, which is YouTube, where people can upload photographs and videos, and the most popular, again, are YouTube and Flickr. Flickr pretty much for photographs, and YouTube pretty much video. Microblogging is the next one, which is Twitter. That's just little bits of information that we can go ahead and upload. They're little comments. It's basically little blogging. And they're just short updates that you can put out to anyone who subscribes to your particular blog. So that's Twitter. And then there's blogging, comments and forums, and there's tons of those out there, just lots and lots and lots. And those are basically online forums that allow members to hold conversations by, posting messages and comments, and it's a really good way to get messages out there. All of these are really excellent ways to get your business known out there in rural Alaska or anywhere. The question becomes where to start, because there's so many choices. I always suggest that you pick 1, 2, or 3 out of the big menu of services that are out there in social media. Pick what you know that you can, that you can really use, and has pretty much, if you're new to technology, has a low or learn curve, or isn't too labor-intensive or technically challenging for you. A lot of times I suggest Facebook. If you have it, everybody just about on the planet has it. It's a good place to start your small business to get the information out there. Earlier we talked about that it is a social forum. It's a social network. It's a way to get out there and talk to people about what you're doing. People are interested. Again, another one might be Twitter. You might go from Facebook to Twitter or do both of those simultaneously. As Twitter is microblogging piece, so you can put things in the moment. Of course, YouTube is also another good one, place to start if you do videos and show it. Your services, your products, or do little infomercials. YouTube, a lot of times now, people like to use it for building their business in really fun and creative ways. And if your video goes viral, then your business is booming. I always like to tell people that Facebook is for the past and the future, and Twitter is for the now, and Facebook is for entertainment. YouTube is for entertaining. So those are really good places to start. Of course, there's Instagram. There's WordPress. There's lots of other things to choose from. This part I'm going to kind of go through it pretty quickly because a lot of this is a lot of facts. You can go back and look at these later, but there's a point and a purpose to putting all these facts in here. Basically, there's millions and millions and millions, 802 million actively daily users just on Facebook alone. What really impresses me is that there's 609 million mobile users, which the 802 million, that's all of them. 609 million of those are mobile users. There's 101.28 billion monthly active users as of March 31st, 2014. So that's just a few months ago, and it increases exponentially every day. Also, 101.01 billion mobile monthly active users. So you're looking at lots and lots of people who are using mobile devices to access Facebook. Approximately 81.2% of active daily users are outside the United States and Canada. So a lot of the people that are using social media, such as Facebook, not in the U.S. or Canada. They are outside across the big waters. And about 5 new profiles are created every second. 29.7% of users are between the ages of 25 to 34. But oddly enough, the fastest growing demographic is 35 years and older. And it's almost a 50-50 split between females and males, or females are 52% and males are 47%, which I find that very unique too and interesting, is that there's just about, there's pretty much almost no gender difference between for posting and for utilizing Facebook. Uploads total about 3 million a day, and about 4.5 million likes generated. This is old stats from last year, May of 2013, and it was in a little less than a year period, and it went up over 67%. So Facebook is, I think, one of the fastest growing forms of social media, and it's constantly changing. There's 4.75 billion pieces of content that are shared daily. Again, this is of May 2013, which is over a year ago. So I don't even know what it is. I couldn't find a more current stat on that. But I was curious how many more billions of pieces that is. Basically, Twitter is the micro blogging. Twitter, basically, users are 3 times more likely to follow your product or brand than Facebook users are, which is also very interesting. And 49% of monthly Twitter users will follow your company or your brand. So Twitter is a really good way to start your business and to use social marketing and media in that way and tweet about it. 67% of Twitter users are more likely to buy from the brand they follow on Twitter. And over 90% say that they follow business on Twitter to get discounts and promos. So the way to use Twitter is to run contests or to do, giveaways or, to put coupons up And people will follow you and look for those, and they'll tell other people about it. And of course, Twitter works because we have lots of followers. The more followers you have, the more success you have in a small business. 70% of small businesses are on Twitter right now at this same time. These statistics I pulled yesterday, so these were real current statistics up until July 1st. 85% of followers feel more connected to this business after they're following them. These are really good points to consider when you have a small business and you're doing business out in the rural parts of Alaska. 63% of people follow small businesses to show support for that business, become like a fan of a business. 85% of people say they feel more connected to the business after they've followed them. And 66% of those generated tweets mention brands that come from mobile users. Again, mobile users are the power right now in social media. 61% of Twitter users follow small businesses to interact with them, share ideas and feedback. And this is really, really critical as a small business owner to get that feedback. A lot of times you don't feedback if you're in a brick and mortar business, and sometimes the only complaints you hear about the good stuff, because a lot of times that's just the way people are. Humans are. We like to complain about things. We don't like to generally give compliments. However, an interesting phenomena on social media is people tend to be more positive and are willing to give feedback and opinions on your product and your service. So that's a really, really good point. Offline sales also have increased by about 29% when using promoted tweets. Average Twitter follower, our user follows at least 5 or more businesses. A little about YouTube. How YouTube works into social marketing is that right now there's more than 1 billion unique users which visit YouTube every month, and there's over 6 billion hours of videos that are watched every month, and over 100 of those hours are uploaded every minute. That is a ton of videos. And 80% of the YouTube traffic comes from outside the United States. Again, this is a really important point, particularly for small business owners in rural Alaska. The business is not all going to be in Alaska. It's going to be outside of Alaska, and there's benefits to that, particularly if you have a product that you want to get outside of outside of the U.S. There's plenty of room for international marketing and exporting. Although, according to the Nielsen people, which are the same ones that did the Nielsen ratings on television, is that YouTube reaches more U.S. adults ages 18 to 34 than any cable network. So there are young people that are also on YouTube and are watching anything else. And, of course, millions of subscriptions occur every day. LinkedIn is a little bit more different. LinkedIn has kind of an anomaly, kind of a horse of a different color. LinkedIn, the average person spends between 0 and 2 hours per week on LinkedIn. Yet they have like 60% of all visits from social media channels are from corporate websites through LinkedIn. So it's kind of interesting that this kind of like the low, low energy kind of social media one. I'm one of those people that spend maybe 4 minutes a week, 5 minutes a week on my LinkedIn, and I post sometimes, and I find that I spend a lot of time connecting with people and seeing what people are doing. But I'm one of those people that's guilty of not spending a whole lot of time, and somehow it still works. I don't quite get LinkedIn, and I've talked to a lot of people, and they don't quite get it, but somehow it works. We don't understand it. So that the 10 most liked brands on LinkedIn are all business to businesses. 38% of LinkedIn visits made, again, via mobile. So mobile is something to be real mindful of at the moment for rural Alaska. Instagram was launched on December 12, 2013, when it was acquired by Facebook, and of course there's 1 million plus people who use Instagram every month. I don't know what statistic, of course. Okay, why social media? What's the point of all of that? Well, the point is that numbers don't lie, and as we just went over like tons and tons and tons of numbers, I didn't even mean to bore anybody with numbers. The point is that there's kind of like a little bit of a pattern that develops. One of the big patterns was that go where the people are, and the people on the internet, and more importantly, people are using social media a lot. Where you go, people are on their cell phones, they're on their tablets, they're on some kind of a mobile device. And so there's 42% of marketers report that Facebook is critical or important to their business. And about 16 million local business pages were created as of May 2013. Which, again, these are old statistics, and we're talking 100% increase from the previous year. So 7.5 million promoted posts have been made by June of 2012, 2013. So that's only in 1 year. Again, people who use mobile devices to access Facebook are almost 50% more active on Facebook than non-mobile users. In Europe, over 223 million people are on Facebook. So that just backs up the statistics about how many people are outside of the United States and Canada that are on Facebook. Okay, so how can social media work in rural Alaska? We have lots of things that go on in rural Alaska. There's fishing, there's hunting, there's access, there's artists, there's trappers, there's lots of snow removal. There's tons of kinds of businesses that can happen out in rural Alaska. So I get our business out so people understand and see it. Bottom line, level access. As Native people and Alaskan Natives, we have always had isolated locations in the United States and Canada, and also in other Aboriginal First Nations people in other countries. They're generally out in the middle of, isolated locations or rural areas where there's no internet broadband access, or it's extremely, extremely slow. It takes forever to get out there. Cable companies or ISP providers don't find it's generally lucrative to go out to rural areas where maybe there's only 95 people or 100 people, maybe even less, in a small area. They don't find that worth their while to go out there and provide the service. However, with Wi-Fi and with access, what's happened is Aboriginal First Nations, Alaskan Native people have, out in rural areas, have jumped over the whole broadband process and go straight from basically phones to mobile access to the internet. And in this sense, what has happened is we're able to jump over, we just missed the whole broadband thing, which I think is a blessing in disguise. So we can go straight into the social media with very limited resources. Cell phone, a tablet will get you in. And then all the social media is there at your fingertips. So basically, there's a 7-step social media strategy that I'd like to go over very quickly, where I'm looking at the time here. We're running short on time here. And I want everybody done by 3. So anyway, the 7-step social media strategy is basically the very first thing that you need to do is determine your business objective for your social media. Basically, what is it that you want to use the social media to help your business do? What's your goals? What is it that you want to achieve? Say if you have a dog mushing business, what you're trying to achieve on social media. Are you trying to get your winter filled up with dog mushing, tours? If so, then that's something that you want to have as one of your goals. Are you teaching, doing educational things? If so, then then you want to make sure that education is part of your objective for dog mushing. If you're a pilot, what's your purpose? So know what your purpose, know what your passion is, know why, know why and what your objective is in social media and what you hope to acquire. And the next thing is, of course, know your audience. The important thing is to determine what kind of customers and prospects and who you want to engage in social media, and what's your target audience. If you're doing, say, dog mushing, and you want to run this as a business, and you're running as educational tours as well, who's your audience? Are you looking at an audience from the lower 48? Are you looking at an audience from Anchorage or Fairbanks? Are you looking for a European audience? Who are going to be your customers? Are you looking at schools? Are you looking, for who are interested in becoming dog mushers? So know who your audience is. That's really important in media strategy. And choose your hot buttons. Basically, hot buttons are 3 to 5 topics that you would use as category words that you're going to place for search optimization. But so you're going to create the content around these topics for which you want your business to be known as. So again, if we're looking at dog mushing, what exactly are you going to do to get people to understand, know what you do? Are you going to write small? What kind of areas might be? Ukraine might be one. Iditarod might be another. McGrath may be another one. You could write topics about the different areas and different trails. You can talk about, what it's like to be a dog musher in terms of how much training goes into this. And, create the content around the topic that will interest people that will want to purchase or will want to acquire a service or do business with you. It's like I like to write articles. I like to write stories about things. People like to hear personal things that happen about people and how you got to, dog mushing. Photographs speak 1,000 words, and videos, 16 little short videos. So choose kind of like the hot buttons that are going to be your core topic areas. What are the areas that you want to include in social media? If it's education, if it's, whatever it is. Make sure that you cover all those. Get your hot buttons in, at least 3 to 5 of those. Okay, the thing is stake your social media turf for your area. It's really important that your presence be known and that you take ownership of your business name across all of the social media entities. And sometimes you're not going to be able to do that because your name is similar to somebody else's or it's very close sounding, or more than likely somebody has already taken that name and maybe doesn't even have a business, but they've just chosen that because they like it. And so you may not get the name, but what you do is once you secure the name, you still want to use your other name, your other business name, in all your social media profiles. And you really want to start the branding. It's really important to start branding yourself because what will happen is customers and followers start to recognize your company without thinking. It's knowing that it's, Eagle Vision Consulting. They start knowing that it's, just short of magic, or they start identifying you with your company name. I was radio for many, many years in Arizona, and my name, Diamond Dar, has been pretty much branded. People know Diamond Dar from the Diamond Dar Traveling Medicine Show. And so it's kind of like, and that was earlier in my career, and I wasn't all that savvy on branding, but it turned out that it just branded itself on its own. So now I do know about the importance of branding because Diamond Dar has stuck with me for I don't know how many years now, and people still call me that. It's a fun thing. It's a fun name. I enjoy it. Anyway, the next thing is to set your social media engagement. It's basically be strategic about your social media time and usage. It's easy to get caught up on spending hours and hours on Facebook, because I'm guilty of that. I'm sure a few people out there are as well. It's real easy to get caught up into it. So it's really important when you're developing your own strategic media strategy to set aside specific time that you're going to spend building your business via the social media plan, and be very strategic in your approach. I have a friend that spends every morning from 9 a.m. to 10:30. That's her time to spend on Facebook and on LinkedIn, or not Facebook, and on Twitter. And what she does is, she does very strategic things. She gives away things once a week. She's in the thread business for people that have embroidery machines. And so what she does is she basically does a giveaway once a week for some kind of a thread combination. It might be red, white, and blue. It's a little, template to make an American flag. And she does it all on Facebook and Twitter, and she has gotten, just every time I talk to her, she goes, I got another 300 more followers. I got another 150 more in 4 hours, and I'm amazed. But it's because she stays engaged. She does that every day between 9 and 10:30. And she comes up with very creative and really unique ways of engaging her customers and her followers and keeping them interested. The things that I teach another class on, it's called Heck How to Start My Own Business. And in there, one of the very first things I talk to my students about is the basics of business development. It is know, like, trust, and then once those three are in place, then consumers or customers will buy from you. And so social media is a really good way to start the knowing, you start posting, people start to like you, they start to get to know who you are. And once they do that, then they're gonna trust you. And once they trust you, they'll buy from you. They will be very loyal customers because passion and their passion kind of match a lot of times. That's where the trust is formulated. Once that trust is in place, you have a customer, and a lot of times these customers turn into friends, internet friends kind of thing. So then they'll tell other people about what you do, and encourage other people to make referrals, and they will refer to you as well. Okay, the next one is plan your resources, your resource use. For many small businesses, of course, resource utilization may be limited. And even if you're like a sole proprietor, you still need to take a strategic plan, make some kind of strategic plan, and use your time wisely. Because if you're not planning to plan the plan, you're planning to fail. So it's really important that you do take a strategic look at your time and how it's utilized. Don't be spinning your wheels running from one online emergency to another because you're not quite sure, you've gone down a rabbit hole somewhere. Kind of be real strategic about what you're putting on, how you're posting, and how you're utilizing things. Because you also need other time to run your business and to do all the other things that go along with your business. And then, of course, step is to measure your social media results. Your results are really, really important because you're going to know exactly to target and what area of your social media is working and what part is not, in alignment with your business objectives that you've defined in the very first step. It's really important to kind of solve the Google Analytics and the different analytics that are on the different social media services. Okay, and so I have about 6 minutes left, and so what I am doing is I am walking my talk and exercising what I do, which is we're going to do a bonus social media giveaway. I am giving away a free 1-hour coaching session. It'll be through Skype or by mail, and all you have to do to enter into the contest is basically tweet at today's webinar at AKSourceLink on Twitter, and that is a hot link, so you can just go ahead and hot link that. And each person who tweets will be entered into the drawing, and we'll give everybody. I'll announce the winner on August 1st. So on July 31st, I will close the contest, and you will have a free business coaching session, and the value of that is about $195. And I can cover anything that you want to talk about in your small business, whether it's social media, whether it's how to write a business plan, whether it's strategic planning, any question that you have, anything to do with small business, I will be more than happy to coach you through and work with you for an hour. You go ahead and tweet this webinar. And now we have about 5 minutes for questions and answers. Does anybody have any questions?
And take yourselves off mute at this time to ask your question over the audio, or if you enter it into the chat box, Dar can respond to it that way as well. Okay, any questions? Does anyone have anything before we? There we go. Brian sent one to me, Dar. I think it's for you. It's asking, is Google Analytics the best tool for measuring effectiveness?
What was a comment or a question?
Question. Is Google Analytics the best tool for measuring effectiveness?
Yes, I have found that it's very user-friendly and it's very effective in using in measuring your analytics, as well as Facebook has their analytics on Facebook as well, and I find that the Facebook one is very good too.
Okay. Asking also if there are any other measures that might be good. If you don't use Facebook or Google Analytics, is there anything that they don't calculate or take account for that it's good to keep track of?
Yeah, every one of the services, the social media services, have their own form of an analytics. They'll go ahead and measure, how much you're getting, what you're getting, how many, readers, how long they're spending on your website or on your, account. So I just, I use pretty much the Facebook ones and Google Analytics, and I've gotten really good results with both of those.
Okay. And we have a couple more questions here. Oh, go ahead, everyone. It looks like folks send it to me privately as well. I'll let you know that in that send to area, you can change it from being my name to Dar or to everyone. You don't have to keep sending them to me, and I'll ask Dar, but you can also send them that way.
Okay. Alice asked how she can get a copy of the PowerPoint. The PowerPoint, from what I understand, Melissa, you'll be posting that on to the AKSourceLink website, right?
Yep. I'll be putting it up on the website when I return back to my office on Monday. Unfortunately, I don't have the software on my computer that I need to make it all happen down here. But if you would like a copy of that PowerPoint sooner, go ahead and send me an email, and I'll send it to you this afternoon. As it will be up on the website Monday. A couple of other questions that came through here.
And I have another one. Go ahead.
Okay. She
Okay.
asked, is it appropriate? Sorry. She asked, is it appropriate to do some marketing via LinkedIn?
Yes. I find it's how you word it in LinkedIn. Be like, try to avoid being bold and brassy and out there, just like, hey, I'm doing this, or not, I'm doing this, but, prices and that kind of stuff. I use kind of as an event kind of thing, like, make it an event kind of thing. Make it more interesting in the terms of less impersonal and more personal. Like what I'm doing, if you're in town, like to stay or whatever, avoid kind of putting things up like 50% off on, this store. Make it a little bit more personal. That works on LinkedIn real well.
And I have more for you, Dar. Before you
Okay.
answer the one that you have there, it's Brian, and he asked if you could tell us about the difference between a personal Facebook page and a Facebook page for your business.
What I do is on Facebook you can get pages as well onto your personal one, and I would suggest when you're first starting out, since you already have a Facebook account, go ahead and start a Facebook page for your business. And then what I do is I keep things very separate. There's a very strict boundary on what goes on my Eagle Vision Consulting and Training Facebook page versus what goes on my personal Facebook page. And you have access and control over the audience of both of those and what will be shared, your privacy and all that stuff in the content. But basically, I find it's easier to keep it all under, just have your personal one, but start pages for business. As your business gets better and grows, you can go ahead and start a separate Facebook page. But really good success at just getting off of a page. And then you can start groups off that. Like my friend does the embroidery thing. She has her personal one, then she has her business one, which is the page. Now she's boarded off of the page and started a group. And now there's a group page that's constantly buzzing. They're all talking about all kinds of stuff in there. And she doesn't even spend a whole lot of time on that group circle page anymore because it's running itself. Every once in a while, she says every, a couple of days she'll just chime in with something. They're pretty much doing their own thing, and it's all reverting back to her and her business because they will text her or Facebook or Instagram her about, can you get this product? We were talking about this yesterday. And so she's getting requests for products that she would have no other way of knowing that somebody was looking for those products. So I find Facebook to be very effective in starting a small business, particularly if you don't have a lot of other resources available to you. Okay? Any else?
It looks like one from Tricia, who asks, do you know of any analytics that measure Facebook groups?
I believe I don't. I'm thinking that Google Analytics might. I'm not sure if they do or not. I'd use whatever Facebook has in there. They have, if you get so many likes, so many hits, you can start doing its own analytics.
Okay. And then I had a question that was sent to you directly as well.
Okay, let's see this. No, it's the same one. It was one that asked about marketing on LinkedIn. And then
Do we have other
everyone.
questions before that we've missed, or any new questions before we wrap up here? Dar's information, her contact info is listed on the PowerPoint slider, and like I said, this presentation, the recording, as well as the documents that coincide with it will be uploaded onto AKSourceLink in the resource library on Monday, so you can access the webinar at any time there. I want to thank Dar for being here with us today and giving us such valuable information about social media, and to all of you for participating in the webinar today and for bearing through some of those technical glitches that we had at the beginning. So just a reminder, we do have that webinar series continuing. Our next webinar, let me pull the calendar here. I'm pretty sure it's 2 weeks from today, which is August 6th, Wednesday at 2 p.m. Sam Dickey of the Small Business Administration will be presenting on different small business administration resources for small rural businesses. So you won't want to miss that. And if you would like to be on and receive the flyer that has all of the information on each of the webinars in the series, please go ahead and send me an email. You can find my contact information on the AKSourceLink website, or I sent you the link for this. It should have my contact information in the response there. So thanks to everyone, and we will hopefully at the next webinar. Have a good rest of your afternoon.
Great. And don't forget to tweet.
You want a 1 hour of service.
That's right. That's right.